are the master of time management.
Thank you.
And this is something I think not only do Hilda and I definitely lack any kind of skill set in, but I think most business owners not understanding what time management actually is and how to do it better. So can you walk us through actually what time management is before we go down the rabbit hole of how to do it better?
Time management allows me to like control the scales of work-life balance. And because I grew my business with 2 babies at home, because I started my business with a 3-month-old and then got pregnant right away again and had 2 babies at home when I was building my business. I tell people all the time, like, I built my business between naps and nursing. And like that's how I did it. And so time management became like crucial to me being able to build what I have. And as my business grew and became more successful, then time management became what allowed me to be able to like still show up in the way that I wanted to as a mom and for myself and for my family, to be able to still like have all of the things that are the reason why I started a business in the first place, to have control over my own schedule. Like, so I have intense control over my own schedule, and that's time management, is me intensely controlling my schedule.
Spoken like a true business owner.
So yeah, it started as like my time management was how I built the business, and then it became how I stayed connected with my kids and like was able to like balance work and life. And
so what's the number one thing that you do when it comes to time management? What's the first step?
Oh, everything lives on my calendar. My calendar is the end all and be all really of time management, is just my calendar.
Google Calendar? Or
yeah, I use Google Calendar. Okay. I tell people all the time, if it's not on my calendar, it doesn't exist.
Right.
Yeah, everything that I do is on my calendar. So like if you look at my calendar right now, it's like it's got my kids like camp drop-off schedule and pickup schedule, and it's got this, and like everything that I do goes on my calendar. And even things that maybe don't seem like they need to be on a calendar, like this all started as like a little co-working date between you and I.
Right.
This was not on the originally on the schedule for today. And so even though it wasn't something that I was like blocking out as an appointment, it still went on my calendar for me to be like, okay, this is something that I'm doing for me. That's the first rule, is like everything goes on my calendar. Birthdays, like payment dates, like everything lives on my calendar.
If it's not on your calendar, it doesn't exist.
It does not exist. It does not. I consult my calendar for everything. Somebody asked me like, what are you, like, are you free? And I'm like, hold on. Can you commit to, hold on. When are you going to get that to me? Hold on. Let me check. So I have like due dates for clients on my calendars. I will offboard clients for a while and have them take breaks in their planning process. So it's like, when do they need to come back into planning? Lives on my calendar. When are they going off? Lives on my calendar. The second thing is I color code a lot.
Walk us through that. Like, what does that mean?
Yeah, color coding has saved my life. Color coding started because I got to a point when my team was larger, several full-time employees, and I was constantly like juggling team and clients and family and all of that I was like, I don't know like who's getting most of me. And it was very difficult for me to try to figure out like, am I balancing any of this? So color coding started as me being able to like just at a glance look at my calendar and say, oh, all of this purple is team-facing stuff, so my team's getting a lot of me this week. So if they don't get a lot of me next week, that's okay, because they got a lot of me this week. Orange is for me, like just me as an individual person. So like our co-working date was an orange, because that was something that I was doing for me. Like it's friend time, it's date, it's drum lessons, it's a day I'm taking off. Like anything that's for me goes in orange. Anything that I have to be physically like on site for has a color. It's red, because that means that I have to travel to it.
Okay. So
it helps me like be like, oh, I have to be somewhere. This means I have to be somewhere. So yeah, so I have my different color coding system for different things. Things with my kids have a color. Things for like bigger family stuff have a color. So
that helps you like laser focus immediately without even knowing what it is. You have a general idea.
Yeah, I can look at my calendar and say, this is why I'm feeling cranky, because I have not had anything for me in weeks. So really like the start of that was me feeling like, I don't know what I do that's for me. And so I was like, okay, let's put a system in place so that I can see very quickly like, oh, there's not any time for me on
Yeah.
here. So
I never actually thought about scheduling time for me. It's always like, oh, I'll do it when I have time.
Yep.
And you never have time.
you never have time. You will always fill the space. So, and then if there's things that are like pending, I have a color for holding certain things. So if I've offered a client a certain time for a meeting and I want to make sure I don't schedule over it, because that has happened to me a million times, that I've sent a client an email and said, I can meet at this time or this time. And then they email me back and I'm like, well, I gave that to somebody else because you didn't answer me for 2 days and now I have to go back. And, so I have like a holding color. I have a color that's like for blocking, just for buffer so that I don't run myself ragged. So,
Oh, wow. Okay.
I have a color for just like focus time of like admin, answering emails.
Yeah.
All that. So like, I really like everything has a color.
Wow.
My calendar is everything. Like everything.
I have to learn how to color code. Maybe after this you can
show
show
you.
me.
I'll show you.
Because everything is just red. Whenever I put in something, it's just red. I'm like, okay, that's the way it's
I'll
supposed
show
to
you.
be.
It's amazing. This is more like specific when you're doing like individual client work, but like you guys do individual client work. Like each of
do.
my clients has their own Google Calendar too. So I put all of their due dates and deadlines
That's
and things like that
amazing.
on their Google Calendar that they have access to so that they can know where they need to be. But then also I don't have to have it on my calendar. I can just, what are Abby and Charlie up to this week? And like, what do I need to get done for them? And so then I can just look directly at their calendar.
Oh, wow.
Instead of having like it all on mine.
Yeah.
So I have, each of my clients has their own Google Calendar too.
Okay, I didn't know you could do that.
I didn't know you could do individual.
show you.
What?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's amazing.
Wow, we're going
I'll
to
teach
learn
you
a
guys
lot
everything I
today.
know.
No kidding.
'Cause we're making history.